Welcome to the latest episode of KapVista Klips. Today we're here with James and Cody from MyPremo. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Good, mate. How are you?
Good. So we're going to jump straight into it because I'm excited about this one. You've done a lot of work. You've got a lot of momentum behind you. You're in a space that's not slowing down anytime soon. I think we're just at the tip of the iceberg, so it's an exciting one. So let's just jump straight into who you are and what brings you to this point in time. So I'll hand it over to you to give us an introduction and a bit of a background.
Thanks, mate. I'm Cody McDowell, co-founder with James here. Background, so I come from a civil construction background. I founded that with my dad as I left high school, so we're the first two. Grew that from the ground up to 60 employees, 30 million a year. It's still running today. But my role in that was heavily in the budgeting and the rollout of projects, running teams. So build a pretty good understanding of how to grow and run good teams around me. I can't deliver projects without a good team, so that's probably a strength of mine. Outside of that, I was just developing a network in entertainment. A lot of my friends and buddies were entertainers and seeing what they were doing, and they're all amazing, but they don't make a lot of money, and that's sort of what led me into thinking a little bit differently, thinking of how tech could help it. At the same time, I sort of met James at around that same time as I was starting to think about this, and then Jim obviously brought the tech side, but I'll let Jim introduce himself.
Yeah, thanks, Cody. My name's James, but Cody calls me Jim. I'll clear that up at the start. No. My background, I had an expat upbringing, came to Australia in 2007 and immediately started working on tech, early stage projects, so app software development, looking at minimum viable products, helping companies streamline things and set up early stage tech products that solve problems. And then also went into start selling software into enterprise, government and large scale companies and convincing them what the right solutions were for the problems that they had. And met Cody about 10 years ago, and we started looking at some of the issues that our friends were having, the creators and the artists, and how tech could solve those problems. Came up with a few ideas that didn't get over the line and were blocked in different stages, and then put our heads together and came up with MyPremo, and the rest is history.
Awesome. So walk me through MyPremo. What is it about? High level, get into what it looks like from a customer point of view, from a business. Walk us through it.
Yeah, I'll just lead a little. I'll just start again. The reason why we built MyPremo was a lot of our buddies, like I said before, were amazing entertainers, but they don't make money from their art. And I was very naive at the time. Get a friend, send you a video that got 1 million views on YouTube or a million streams on Spotify, thinking these guys are absolutely killing it, but they're not even breaking even on the cost to make that record or that piece of content. So for us, we were very, very green, but we put our heads together and, come from, I guess, use our like an outside perspective on the industry and realize that the industry was broken. So for us, it was building a solution that would just simply help our friends to begin with. And then as we started doing that, realizing that we're solving some big problems, we started getting recognized by some bigger guys. And I was sitting in the studio on a bit of a hustle through LA. I lived over in LA for about 6 months, pretty much living as an artist, and got approached by one of Ice Cube's guys that was sitting in the studio, overhearing my conversation with another artist at the time. And he sort of said, I think Ice Cube might like this. And nothing sort of happened for about 2 months. And I'd already come back home by this time and got invited back over to the US. And Ice Cube wanted to meet us, and we pitched him and he liked it. So, yeah. That's sort of how the product's come about, and today we've got a content monetization platform. But the way that we position ourselves in the market is as a digital content box office release platform. So what I mean by that is, we don't want to compete with Spotify's or the YouTubes. That they're amazing, got their visibility, you keep your audience engaged. It's needed, but it doesn't, supply the financing or the funding or the return on investment to the artist. So we just want to return that investment as a box office, and then allow them to then move on to the streaming platforms afterwards.
Yeah. So thinking how you engage with artists and fans, what does that look like? So for an artist, what does it look like? You said it's a box office release. What does that look like?
Yeah, so it's very much empowering, reducing the number of clicks and connecting artists and consumers and their super fans together. So the buzzwords at the moment with all the record labels and everybody over in the US is monetizing super fans, and how do you create that kind of excitement and then monetize. So we leverage link in bio technology. So you'll see us in a number of different bios in Instagram, where people can put their MyPremo link in bio, still share the links like they would using other tools. Then they can also host their content for sale directly on that profile. So reducing the number of clicks from an ad or a shout out or something on social media to the piece of content that's being sold. So connecting those super fans, and the super fans themselves can then start collecting these pieces of content from their different artists, influencers, and idols.
Okay. And then from a fan's perspective, what does that look like? You know, they log in, they want to see their favorite artist, they link in bio, they click on it, and do they get access to exclusive stuff? They can buy it.
Yeah.
You know, I assume that you know, the revenue is going, you know, mostly to the artists themselves to help, you know, them get paid. Because, like you said, I've heard countless stories where people get 1 million views on YouTube and they make $70.
Yeah.
And you're like, well,
a couple of things to unpack. Sorry, Codes. One is that, we got an 80-20 commercial split, which 80% of everything that the artists sell through their MyPremo profile stays with them. There's a referral model that is a little bit more complicated, but again, it's part of a market acquisition strategy that we've got. But for a fan, you're already engaged with these artists and celebrities and influencers. You're already following them on their social media pages. That link in bio goes directly to this piece of content where you can click it and purchase it. It's limited. You don't have to subscribe to them to constantly get pieces of content that you don't want. You can purchase that one single piece of content, and that stays within your content wallet. So you will have a MyPremo content wallet, which houses all of the content that you've purchased.
And something else on top of that, you asked what's in it for the fan or the customer, Daniel. Fans at the moment are limited to what they can get out of creators in terms of the quality of content. So creators are, they've been stuck in this, ecosystem that really requires you to go viral or have a piece of content go viral to make money from it. To do that, you need to stay relevant. You need to be pumping the algorithms. You need to be putting out content almost by the day. What happens for the fans is they're getting content that is just content. It's not, there's no art, there's nothing really put into it. So what they're getting is, high quality piece of content from their artists or their creator that they love the most. And, we're not focused on the 100% or the 99% of the fans. We're focused on the 1% of the super fans that are willing to get their wallet out and consume the high quality content that they're going to buy from only people that they truly love. Where, we don't want to compete with the 99%, just the 1%.
Yeah. And the space that you're playing in, I mean, if you go back, even if you go back just 10 years, the way that we consume content has completely changed, right? If you remember, some people don't remember free-to-air TV. I guess it's still around, but you would watch whatever they put on, and you had to run to the toilet between commercial breaks because you were really at the whim of the broadcaster. If they wanted to put on Home Alone, you were watching Home Alone. That's it. Unless you wanted to go to Blockbuster or Video Easy or one of these video rental places, which are gone now anyway. And then, cable TV came, and you could choose from 50 different channels, but still what they wanted to put on. And now it's changed with the Netflixes and the Spotifys and Amazon and Apple, where it's on demand on what you want. And then even that's changing now. People their attention span is really, really short, so they're changing and they want specific content from specific artists that may not, So the way things are changing and allowing having a platform that allows artists to connect directly with their fans and create content specifically what their fans want. That's where the future is going.
Yeah, 100%. And another thing as well is marketplaces are still driven by, although you can choose what you want to watch, marketplaces are still populated with content that the platform is going to put in front of you. So consumers still aren't sometimes seeing exactly what they want to see. And that's why we moved away from building a marketplace on MyPremo and building landing pages specifically to the creator, because people get distracted by content that the platforms want them to see. And for us, our core business is providing money back to the artist, and marketplaces don't work in that regard. So we get asked a lot, why isn't there a marketplace? Why can't I go to MyPremo to find this content or that content? Because when you engage with an artist on MyPremo, any creator on MyPremo, you've come from their social media. We don't want to take you from Ice Cube's social media and try to sell something that's Snoop Dogg's selling because it's Ice Cube's fans. So it's Ice Cube's fans. They should buy from Ice Cube, go back to his social media. It was just a good opportunity to explain that as well.
Okay, perfect. So tell me about some of the milestones you've achieved and what sort of traction you have.
Yeah, we've had some great milestones from very early on, from just getting a really supportive initial investor base of local Australian investors. And getting feedback there. I'm not sure who's.
Try again.
It's still working.
Okay,
You're still.
Yeah, wasn't sure if I've cut or not. As soon as I start talking about foundational investors, it cuts off. But also getting the validation. I mean, initially we were building this just for friends to help solve the problems that we saw locally and on a smaller scale. But then getting validation from the likes of Ice Cube and other artists of his caliber, he's a sold billions of dollars through box office, let alone the music powerhouse that he is. To say that, look, it genuinely is a problem that he's facing, as well as the guys on his team. So that was a huge milestone for us, getting the links in bios for those guys, and then watching the growth happen organically. So this year we've experienced about 100% growth in terms of users on our platform using MyPremo for link in bio. The extra validation that we're getting now and the interest, we've just raised $1 million in a crowdfunding campaign just within Australia as well. So again, still within Australia, which is also great for us. A huge milestone and extra validation.
Yeah, amazing. And then this is a global platform. You're looking at a global stage. This is not just an Australian focused thing, because this is a problem that you're solving worldwide. Yes, correct. And we're globally available from day one. We launched the website and getting traction all over the world. So it's on one side, we have to keep our blinkers on and stay focused on what we're trying to achieve. But on the other side, there's opportunities everywhere for us. It's really exciting. Yeah. So tell me about what the next 12 months look like. What are the milestones that you're looking to achieve in the next 12 months, and where does it take you? Obviously, things change, and depending on how fast the train's going, and how much steam you're picking up. But what does the next 12 months look like for you?
Outside of tech, which I won't get into the tech talk, it's quite boring, but that's Jim's role anyway. It's all about partnerships, mate. For us, we want to become part of pop culture, and we need the leaders in the industry to adopt it before the masses will adopt it. So all about partnerships in our three verticals, which is music, film, and sport. Obviously, Ice Cube is we're working on projects with him at the moment. Talking to a couple athletes at the moment about a couple masterclasses that we're looking to shoot with them. And we literally just before this call got off the phone with a big time producer and director in the film space, and hopefully going to partner with his production studio to be putting out documentaries and short films with him. All about partnerships for the next 12 months and driving revenue. A lot of investors keep on asking, where's the revenue? We've had to spend a lot of money on tech, still need to spend more money on tech. But it's all about, now proving our case and generating some revenue.
Yeah, that's amazing. And what you said, it's not just the music and the film space. Sport is a big one. Sport content is in heavy demand. Sports media, sports content, videos, interviews, things like that are really, really big. So, not just teams themselves, so sporting teams and athletes, but also leagues. Leagues are looking they've got archives worth of, decades worth of content that is, I spoke to, some of the big leagues, and I spoke to the guys at the NBA who said they've got archives of, videos going back 50 years that their fans are wanting to see. It's just how do they get in front of them? There's only so much that they can put on, Instagram and YouTube and things like that. And obviously they're a business and they want to, that revenue, but people are asking for this. People are demanding it. Their fans are demanding it. So it's how they engage with their fans. Yeah. Not just from a team or a player's perspective, but from an organization's perspective. And the organizations are looking at this right now.
100%. And, putting out archives of, old content, to put on a streaming platform, it makes no sense for a lot of these people. So we're talking to a couple of leagues about that, but we see sport being our big focus on sport is the masterclass market. And the reason why we focus on that is, picture yourself being a young boy. I don't know what sport you played, but you idolize athletes very differently to many other industries. Whether or not you're a young, 10-year-old kid or someone breaking through the grades, trying to become a professional, you're looking to know what your idols do to make them who they are. And that content isn't heavily available. It's very, very hard for you to, go to YouTube and type in a Cristiano Ronaldo masterclass or a Lionel Messi masterclass, LeBron James masterclass. It doesn't exist. So working with athletes, educating them that, it's not just about the salary from their team or their endorsement deals, they're content creators and people want to see that high quality content. So it's, an education piece for us. And the athletes that we're talking to, that they have that aha moment going, to sit down for a day or two with my videographer to shoot this, it makes a lot of sense, and it drives revenue for them as well.
Yeah. You're right, because each one of these athletes is a brand themselves, and they need to market their brand. And there's a really good story. I think it was Dwight Howard was he was talking about when he first started in the NBA. He was trying to put on an event, and people were like, "Oh no, you don't have that big a name." And when he was trying to negotiate his contract, it's like, you don't have that big of a name. So he had to focus on Dwight Howard, the brand, to build his name and get to the next level in his contract negotiations. So players are realizing that they're a brand in themselves, and they have to get out there and market themselves. So content is a big one. Engaging with their fans. If they can engage with their fans and do a masterclass and teach the grassroots, and then they can show that data to the next team that they're negotiating with, it increases their ability to negotiate a larger contract. So there's so many opportunities that come out of this. Not just obviously they're making revenue through the MyPremo platform, but then using that data to negotiate their next contracts, and not just contracts, but brand deals and sponsorship and marketing. That it all comes into play. So tell me about your raise, because obviously you're raising. You've just done a equity crowdfund, but now you're raising to pour fuel on the fire for that the growth. Tell me about the raise. How much you're raising? What's it being used for?
Yeah. So we're raising $3 million this round. We've raised $1 million through the equity crowdfunding campaign, with $2 million left to go. And it's really about getting that traction and that growth. So we've got these partnership opportunities, driving more eyeballs to the platform, but there's a lot of peripheral opportunities outside of or within our network in the US and across the world that are starting to realize. So being able to capitalize on those, being able to spend more time with the right people in our network, that's kind of where we're at the moment.
Okay, amazing. So you've raised $1 million of equity crowdfund, $2 million to go. You are a live platform. You've got artists on board. You've got fans on board. You're scaling now. This is something that if investors are watching this and they want to know, this is not a give us your money and we're going to build something. You've already built it. You've got big names attached. You're scaling. This is a train that's moving. It's just about jumping on now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And, with this round, it was a $3 million round. We deliberately capped that $1 million in the crowdfunding campaign. We hit that in 14 days. We could have run a month-long campaign, probably hit the $3 million very, very easily. But we wanted to leave something substantial for, hopefully our first institutional check, knowing that our next round is going to be a bigger round and it is going to be at that institutional level. So we want to have something substantial, for the institutional guys in this round at a good valuation. It is, it's now about taking the platform, from a governance level, revenue level, tech level to the next level. And we need the capital to do that.
Okay, brilliant.
It's a pretty unique opportunity, I think, in respect to most investments. It's not just purely you can't look at it purely as a commercial return and a value for money ROI within a certain time frame. Obviously, you do look at that, but there's the lifestyle investment as well, the connection to the artists, the celebs, the network that we have in the US, looking at other monetizing opportunities and investment opportunities surrounding that. So really want to call out the value of the network that we've got. It's hard to put that down on paper, but there's a definite interest, I think, for the right kind of investor that values that as well.
Okay, amazing. I'm not going to take up too much more of your time, but this has been great. This is a a platform, and it's an investment for anybody who is thinking what's the next, what's the next industry, right? What's something that's going to be the next 10 years is going to see exponential growth. And I think, from my opinion, content platforms, engaging with fans, that is what they're looking for, because your target market are looking to engage with their favorite artists. Your favorite artists are looking at ways that they can open up different monetization channels. The traditional ones like your YouTubes and your Spotify's are good at the very, very top end, but that middle to lower end, when you get 1 million, 2 million, 5 million views, it's not enough to really to live off, right? So fans really want to engage with their favorite artists. So I think from an investment point of view, this makes sense. You've got some really good names attached, and you've got a lot of traction. So if anybody who's watching this episode wants to find out more, please reach out to my team, and we can connect you directly with Cody and James. Thanks very much for jumping on with this, guys. I'm excited to see what's next.
Thanks very much. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
a lot, mate.
All right, perfect. Bye.
See you guys.
Cheers.
Bye.